Ahead on Q2, oh hell no.
As more storms hit Billings and beyond, we check in on those already hammered with those tennis ball-sized hail in Petroleum County.
That was hands down the biggest hail I've ever seen.
Plus a close call in Miles City.
Everybody keeps walking by telling us that we need to buy a lottery ticket.
A massive tree crashes through a camper with a couple inside. Why they say they're lucky to be alive.
And
still to come, it's not the kind of fishing your grandpa's doing. How you can stay safe on Facebook.
The MTN 530 News starts right now.
From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 530 News.
Good evening and thanks for starting your week with us. I'm Russ Riesinger.
And I'm Andrea Lutz. Non-stop storms and Montana is taking hit after hit.
Yeah, 4 straight days of severe weather with watches, warnings, and wild skies still swirling tonight. This fell from the sky near Red Lodge, where hail is already pounding the region again this afternoon. It's just the latest blow as many communities are still digging out from yesterday's damaging storms.
Well, let's get right to the latest from Chief Meteorologist Ed McIntosh. He is tracking what's coming next.
And we've got a very busy evening already. Everything in the gold shaded area shows us where severe thunderstorm warnings into effect. That includes right around Billings up towards the north, Shepherd. I know you're feeling it right now towards Warden. Also parts of Bighorn County, Montana, and extreme portions of Carbon County where we picked up some hail earlier and flash flooding going on over into portions, or at least the potential for flash flooding in areas into Carbon County as well. Here's where those thunderstorm cells have been moving through. The history of this has been mainly strong winds and hail right around an inch, a little bit bigger than an inch in some cases, and some strong sails continuing to move out and hammer portions of now eastern Yellowstone County. Some of the storm reports that we've had around as well, wind gusts topping 50 up to 60 miles an hour around the Billings area, and then the hail reports are widespread from Billings towards the west. We're going to have a lot of weather to talk about. The complete forecast details coming up.
Mother Nature isn't letting up with storm after storm, leaving a trail of destruction across Montana.
From Lewistown to Miles City to Roundup, communities are cleaning up while bracing for what's still to come.
MTN's Charlie Claps is on the ground in Petroleum County near Winnett, where massive hail left behind a path of wreckage.
Some massive storms hit much of our area over the weekend, but perhaps none had it worse than right here in Winnett, Montana on Sunday, where hail the size of my palm hit many homes, businesses, and vehicles. The videos speak for themselves.
Haley, look how big that is.
It was so loud.
As tennis ball size hail came crashing down on the Keel Ranch just southwest of Winnett.
We saw one fall right in front of the expedition, and I thought a bird had fallen out of the sky.
The hail so massive in size that Haley Keel and her family had their own Easter egg hunt after the storm had subsided.
The fact that I can come back an hour and a half later and find them that big still, dear God.
Even keeping a few in their freezer as a souvenir.
That was hands down the biggest hail I've ever seen.
Stones that left their mark all across their ranch. A quick drive around the property and it's easy to spot. Shattered windows, play sets destroyed, and most importantly, irrigation pipes in their alfalfa fields cracked as well.
We put a lot of work into having a hay crop. A lot of hours irrigating and a lot of time put into it.
But to her family's amazement, the damage itself, considering the size of the stones, was fairly minimal.
The hail was so big that if it didn't hit it directly, you know, it wasn't shredding leaves like the little stuff can.
It was pretty crazy. I didn't expect it.
Others in the community, like Cody Martinez and Josh Schreiner, faced smaller sized hail, still leaving damage on vehicles and homes like Cody Martinez's truck.
You know, I was just driving down the highway and it was, you know, quarter size, and suddenly it was golf ball, then tennis ball, and so it got kind of western there.
Getting hail that big was pretty nerve-wracking, kind of, more or less. You know, worried about the windows of the shop, the house.
Martinez is now bracing for business. He owns CNS Seamless Gutters and expects there are many repairs to be made following the storm.
I'm sure over the next month or two we'll get real busy with it.
As for the Keels, there's plenty of work to be done.
But after that, it was about 10-15 minutes of just like baseball size hail.
But they remain grateful their livestock and crops are okay.
It sucks, but also kind of lucky in a sense.
In Winnett, Charlie Kleps, MTN News.
A Billings couple is lucky to be alive after an extremely close call during Sunday's storm. A cottonwood tree toppled onto their camper while they were inside. Take a look. It happened at the Miles City KOA. You can see the couple's camper trailer was completely destroyed. The couple's daughter tells us her mom had just left the living room and the kitchen area where the tree fell to crawl into bed. You can see the debris surrounding the kitchen sink. Somehow the woman and her husband avoided injury.
We thought the storm was ending, and then all of a sudden the roof collapsed. I was standing by the cupboards, and then my husband was sitting in a chair by the dinette. He was looking out the window. For an instance, he disappeared and then he reappeared.
And we're going to have much more from that couple, hear how they survived this close call. David J's working on that for tonight at 10. It wasn't just the wind that caused problems in Miles City Sunday night, so did the rain. Miles City experienced some flash flooding following a torrential downpour with more than an inch of rain falling in just 90 minutes. You can see that coming down from our video from our Stockman Bank weather cam. That all led to another close call. Take a look at this. A car becoming submerged in flood waters beneath the underpass. We don't know the condition of that driver.
And all that was just a portion of the wild weather we saw across Montana this weekend. The National Weather Service received a total of 116 storm reports Sunday, including a confirmed tornado about 20 miles north of Roundup and at least 2 funnel clouds that were also spotted. One in Vaughn, the other in Geraldine, both in central Montana. Miles City saw the largest wind gust in the state at 81 miles per hour, along with the heaviest rainfall with 1.32 inches reported in less than 90 minutes. That hailstone you saw near Petrolia Lake in Petroleum County was the largest observed in Montana Sunday, measuring 3.5 inches in diameter.
You might call it a recipe for disaster. Facebook post promising free groceries, but serving up a side of a scam.
It's got plenty of flavor, but just no facts. MTN's Marcus Kakova cooks up the clicking concerns to bring you the story.
I would consider myself something of a mild techspert.
I'm something of a scientist myself.
Believe it or not, like a lot of people in my age group, I actually built this computer. So you'll understand why I felt like a total boomer when I almost fell for the most recent Facebook phishing scam in our local community groups. Tiffany Lucero says it happens more often than you think. She works at Technology by Design in Billings, a place that fixes computers, yes, but also cleans up the kind of messes you don't always see on screen.
I like to problem solve, and IT is all about problem solving.
And lately, that problem solving looks less like long load times and more like Facebook posts that sound generous, but feel a little off. Like the 2 I encountered while looking for late night story ideas in Billings Neighborhood Watch, promising a grocery distribution event.
The fact that it doesn't have a location, contact information, that kind of rings bells to me, especially in social media posts. If there's an event going on like this and you have a company or an organization or even an individual that's trying to advertise for it, they're always going to put more detail to it.
If you're thinking it's just me and grandma getting duped, think again.
I can't even say that it's mostly the older population that fall for these. I have people younger than me that fall for these scams.
I ran a quick poll in the Facebook group, and out of 29 people, about 10% say they're unsure if the link was legit. That may not sound like much, but that small doubt could equal a lot of personal information.
A lot of accounts will get taken over and hijacked because they click on a link, and then they're able to access their Facebook information and their Facebook profiles.
And it's not just your profile pic they're after.
If this kind of thing happens on their computer where that stuff is stored, they run the risk of actually compromising their bank account.
For tips on what to look out for while you're online, you can head to our website, ktvq.com. For MTN News, I'm Marcus Kakova.
Measles continues to spread in Montana with a 13th case confirmed in Gallatin County. The county health department confirmed that case Saturday. The patient exposed at the Motel 6 sometime between June 9th and the 13th. 7 children and 6 adult cases are confirmed now in Gallatin County. It's the 21st confirmed case in Montana. The health department is again urging residents to get the MMR vaccine, including an early vaccination for children and an extra dose for adults.
The manhunt is over in Minnesota. Authorities have captured Vance Luther Bolter, now in custody, accused of shooting 2 Democratic state lawmakers and their spouses. Those shocking attacks drawing swift reaction from leaders here in Montana. MTN's Jonathan Ambarian shows us how state officials are responding.
Across the political spectrum, elected leaders in Montana said the killing of one state lawmaker and attack on another in Minnesota was horrifying and raised concerns about the political climate nationwide. On social media, Montana House Republicans released a statement from House Speaker Brandon Lear, who called the attack heinous and heartbreaking. He said, quote, "Political violence has no place in America. We must unite in our condemnation of such cowardly and calculated attacks and recommit ourselves to a democracy grounded in peaceful discourse, mutual respect, and safety for those who serve in public office." Democratic Senator Pat Flowers and Representative Katie Sullivan, the 2 legislative minority leaders, released a statement saying, quote, "Attacks like these are evidence of how the increasingly violent rhetoric that has come to dominate politics in this country inevitably spills over to damage our democratic system and endanger the lives of public servants." Governor Greg Gianforte said in a statement to MTN, quote, "The growing rise of political violence across the nation, including the recent targeted murder and attacks in Minnesota, is un-American. We will not tolerate any threat, act of intimidation, or violence aimed at public officials in Montana. In the past 2 years, there have been 2 cases where Montana officials received suspicious mailings. First, in 2023, multiple state lawmakers got letters containing white powder. Last year, a suspicious package addressed to the Secretary of State's office was intercepted before reaching them. The FBI investigated both of these cases, which both appeared to be part of multi-state patterns. A spokesperson for the agency told me there's been no update on those mailings. In Helena, Jonathan Ambarian, MTN News.